What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be comparing the new X-Men Tornado V2 with the GAN 11M Pro. So let's get started. So I'll be comparing them on 4 factors: price, corner cutting, feel, and customizability. Customizability is a huge one on these cubes, and I'll explain why in a minute. I'll also be answering the question of which one you should buy. So starting off with price, I'll be rating each factor out of 10. So the GAN 11M Pro is $65. That's ridiculously expensive. And the X-Men Tornado V2 is $25. So I'm going to give the X-Men Tornado V2 a 9 because it's really good value, and the GAN 11M Pro a 6 because it's really expensive. Also note, the rating out of 10 isn't compared to any other cubes, it's just compared to these two. Now I'll be doing corner cutting. So let's start with the X-Men Tornado V2. 45 degrees. Okay, great. More, like almost line to line. Okay, that was really hard, but it can do it. Like, pretty much that. Okay, it can't do it, slightly less. Okay, great. So now, the GAN 11M Pro. What's going on there? Okay, 45. Easy. So overall, it just seems slightly easier than the X-Men Tornado V2, but also if you do corner cuts like this, it will sometimes give you this like weird lockup. It's hard like that. Anyway, I'll give the GAN 11M Pro an 8 and the X-Men Tornado V2 a 7. Actually, make that a 6. Okay, next is feel, and this is really a personal preference thing. So on the GAN 11M Pro, it has a very fast feel. It's also kind of clicky because the magnets are quite strong with the corner magnets, but also kind of controllable. And it's a pretty good feel. It also feels like super airy and kind of soft. So, and the M moves are really nice. So I'll give this a 7. So now I have the X-Men Tornado V2. This one's actually slightly smaller and a lot smoother, and right now I have weaker magnets, which causes it to feel more compact and smoother while being about the same speed, and the M moves are just incredible on this cube right now. But then it doesn't corner cut as well, but that also doesn't really matter in solves. And because I can turn very freely, and because this cube feels very compact and it's slightly heavier than the 11M Pro, it's very kind of solid feeling, and I really like that. So I'm actually going to give it an 8. Some people might like the 11M Pro more, but I think this feel is slightly better compared to the feel on the 11M Pro. Now, customizability. This is going to be a big round. So to adjust everything on the X-Men Tornado V2, you only need one tool with adjustable tips, which comes in the box. And same for the GAN 11M Pro, but it's 2 tools. It has all these extra little pieces, which is kind of annoying because these can just fall off and you can lose them easily. Anyway, let's get into the customization on the GAN 11M Pro now that we knew what we do with it. So pretty much, there's spring compression, which is white, and then axis distance, which is blue. And it's kind of weird to adjust because you have to take this and you can like turn clockwise and it'll kind of click, and then the inner one you've got to do with your fingers because I don't think they give you a tool. Feels kind of like a hard to use, outdated system compared to what's on the X-Men Tornado V2. And then there's also magnets, which you can use this world's tiniest screwdriver to adjust. They're on the corners. And there's just a little slider, and you can slide a little plastic thing to change the core magnets. And that's it. So pretty much it's pretty useful around here. And then on the magnets, you only have to adjust it 8 times, but there's only 3 settings. Now to the X-Men Tornado V2 with its one tool. You can take off the center cap, it's a little bit harder. And there's this colored thing inside, and if you turn clockwise, it adjusts spring compression, or how strong the springs are, I'm pretty sure. And then axis distance is counterclockwise, or maybe it's the other way around, I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, though, you can adjust it to get 5 different settings on each, and the GAN 11M Pro only had 4 on one and 6 on the other, so this is slightly better, and it's also a lot easier to use. And then on the magnets, you do this, and you got your other tip. Just put it back, and then you can swap out the tips. And here you can do the same thing, but you have to change the magnet like this. And you can slide it, and there's 5 settings. The one slightly annoying thing is there are 24 places you have to adjust the magnets, which is a lot more than the 8 on the GAN 11M Pro, but it's not that bad. So now what scores will I give them? Overall, I think the X-Men Tornado V2 has a lot better of a tensioning system and magnets, and it has so many options that I'm actually going to give it a 10 because I think it's actually the best tensioning system ever invented for a cube. So, easy 10. I can't give it an 11 though, because that's cheating. And this is also pretty good, but it just feels a little bit old-fashioned. It doesn't have quite as many settings. So, I think I'll give it maybe an 8, because it just doesn't seem quite as good. It seems harder to use, and I don't really like that, because for $65, I think you should be getting the best tensioning system ever. Also, the GAN 11M Pro has core magnets. You can see them right there, which add some stability, and you adjust them through the edges, the way I was saying. Also, there's another feature on the GAN 11M Pro. You can adjust this magnet rod with 2 settings, and I don't really feel a difference. And you have to disassemble the entire cube, so because of that, it's also kind of clunky. So I'd give it a 6 or a 7. I'll say a 7 because it's pretty good, just not as good as the X-Men Tornado V2. So the grand total of points is the GAN 11M Pro coming in second with 28 points, and the X-Men Tornado V2 coming in first with 33 points. A lot of that is just the feel and the price and the customization. In fact, it won on every factor except for corner cutting. And in a solve, the corner cutting is pretty good, so it doesn't really matter. It's just when you're doing this that's not as great. So I think this cube is actually better than the GAN 11M Pro. And it's, of course, way better value. If you like super light and fast cubes that you can customize pretty well, and you're willing to mortgage your house, then yeah, get the GAN 11M Pro if you like the feel. The feel is very different compared to the X-Men Tornado V2. But if you don't want to mortgage your house, you could just get the X-Men Tornado V2. It's more customizable, and it has a different, more smooth and compact feel, while also being really fast. So, I think I would buy this one just because of the feel and how smooth and quiet and fast it is. They're both great cubes, but I think the smaller size of the X-Men Tornado V2, for my smaller hand size and the feel that I really like, makes me want to have this one as my main. So I think I'm actually going to switch my main from this to this. So yeah, in summary, buy this one if you like compact cubes. In summary, buy this one if you want a really light cube and you're willing to mortgage your house. And that brings us to the end of this video. So if you enjoyed, give it a like, and if you want to see more cubing content, subscribe. And here are some more videos. This is the unboxing for this cube right up there. And then this is how to adjust all the tensions and magnets on this cube right over there. Subscribe if you want to see more content. And I'll see you all next time.